Hey, it's Player BN!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Traveler the AI Story. Alright, so we covered the prologue, we covered chapter 1 light, and we saw some pretty cool character designs and also really cool AI generated artwork. Alright, let's dive into the next chapter, which I believe chapter 2? Dark. Behind every dark place, you can find story about how it came to be. Alright, let's get going. Ooh, this is spooky. You go down a path leading to darkness. It is cold and lonely. The trees seem old and withered. The ground beneath your feet is rough and broken. There is snow on the ground and ice on the river. You feel lost and you realize that this is indeed a feeling of being lost. Well, I hope so. Oh, snap. On the opposite shore of the stream, you see a giant castle. From the outside, it looks ancient and forbidding. That is a really cool castle. And also, this music kind of reminds me a little bit of Enya. Okay, never mind, I take it back. The structure appears to be crumbling, and a wind blowing through the trees makes the walls tremble. Oh! Hey, Mr. Gargoyle. On the front of the building, there's a gargoyle that watches you approach. It has a stone face, but its eyes are deep wells of darkness. There are two bridges spanning the wide gap between you and the castle. You go towards the castle. As you get closer, it takes on a sinister appearance. The bridge is narrow and rickety. As you cross it, you hear voices echoing from behind you. It sounds like they're coming from an open doorway in the side of the castle wall. You pause and look back. A door is opening, and a figure steps out. The man is dressed in a gray robe and he holds a staff in his hand. He is very tall and thin, and his eyes are sunken and empty. His skin is pale and waxy, and his body is contorted in unnatural positions. Alright, if I ever saw that, I'd be walking back down that bridge. He stands silently watching you. His gaze seems to penetrate your soul. Yeah, those eyes definitely see into my soul. This man does not look right.
Who are you?
You hesitate. For a moment, you remember the horror stories that children used to scare each other with when you were young. You wonder if you should run, but you also feel drawn to him. Finally, you step forward. I am looking for the great treasure that everyone is trying to find.
Do you seek it for yourself or for someone else?
You clear your throat and try to speak confidently. For myself. The apparition nods slowly.
Then come inside my castle, and I shall show you what you seek.
Ooh, this is pretty. As you walk past the gates, you pass the courtyard filled with statues. They all have their arms held high as they're attempting to reach the heavens. Many of them are missing heads and limbs, and it's obvious that these statues haven't been tended to in quite some time. Beyond the courtyard, there are many chambers and passages within the castle. Some are locked, and others are barred by heavy iron doors. The corridors are dark, and the air smells musty and stale. In one room, you notice a skeleton lying against the far wall. Alright, we just went from like kind of cool, like garden into like the tomb of death. What on earth happened? It was once a man, but he's missing most of his bones. One arm hangs loose at his side. His head is gone, and only the skull remains. Okay, actually that makes no sense. This room is full of coffins and sarcophagi. Most of these are empty, but there are several that contain skeletons. The skulls are lined up in rows of shelves, and some have flowers placed beside them. At first, you think that the bones are simply piled on top of one another, but then you spot something strange. There are pieces of cloth woven into the hair of each skull. Okay. This place is creepy. I agree, Dreamer.
Indeed. I do not know how long it has been abandoned. No one comes here anymore.
Oh, but this looks nice. You follow the apparition down a corridor and into an enormous hall. It reminds you of an amphitheater. There are several benches set along the walls, and a large chandelier hangs overhead. In the center of the room is a dais raised slightly above the rest. In the middle of the dais is a large throne made of black marble. The apparition walks down the stairs to the left side of the dais and sits upon the bench. As you watch, the ghostly figure transforms before your eyes. His robes become more vibrant and alive. The wrinkles disappear from his face, and the skin becomes smooth and youthful. The silver hair turns golden, and the gray eyes shine with life. Oh, dang! Who does this look like? This looks like another dimension of Cloud from Final Fantasy or something. Now standing before you, the apparition is handsome and strong.
My name is Lothion, and I am king of this castle.
You bow your head respectfully. Your Majesty?
This place does not look like one.
Oh wait, sorry, that was Dreamer.
This place does not look like one for the king.
This is no longer my kingdom. This is merely where I dwell now. My realm lies beyond the mountains.
What is this room?
This is the Hall of Kings. Here, every ruler of the world has stood while addressing the people.
What happened to this castle?
Lothian smiles.
That is a complicated story.
You nod and you sit next to the apparition.
Many years ago, there was a kingdom called Agland. My ancestors ruled over it.
You lean closer to listen.
Agland was rich and powerful, but we had enemies. We fought wars against them. The people loved us, and they always said, "Long live the king."
Lothian pauses and glances at you.
When my father died, he named me king, but I did not want the crown.
Why not?
It's a heavy burden to bear. You never really know who to trust, and sometimes you make decisions that you don't like later.
That's like every day.
That can weigh on your mind for the rest of your days.
Yes.
So I swore that I would never wear the crown, and I vowed that I would never let anyone put it on my head. So I fled to this castle and hid away.
How did you stop the people from following you?
They stopped after a while, but I changed my name. I became Lothian. I lived here alone and I took care of the castle.
This place does not look good.
Dreamer, you don't say this to a king of a castle. Lothian laughs.
No, but it was grand and beautiful once. I restored the gardens and the pathways, rebuilt the walls and repaired the towers. I cleaned and polished everything until it gleamed. I kept it clean and tidy, and I planted flowers everywhere.
Lothian points to the chandelier hanging overhead.
I paid a great fortune for that light.
He goes silent, and you take a moment to study his face. His expression is serious and even sad.
I tried to forget. I thought that if I could ignore it, then everything could go back to normal, but time passes and memories remain.
It will be better soon.
Perhaps, or perhaps not.
A tear rolls down his cheek. Oh, Cloud, don't be crying.
I miss the way things were before.
Tell me about the great treasure.
All right, Dreamer, getting down to business.
Can you tell me where it is or why it is important?
I cannot.
If you won't tell me, then I'll just keep searching.
You might find it, but it may cost you your life.
Then I suppose I would die searching. But if you find it what it was, wouldn't you share it with me?
I am afraid. Because if you find the treasure, it will change you forever.
He rises from his seat and walks towards the dais. He lowers himself into the throne and raises his arms and stretches out his fingers.
Come, sit here, let me show you.
You hesitate, but eventually you climb into onto the dais and sit down across from the apparition. Lothian closes his eyes and smiles.
I will give you a vision of Agland. See what it was like before.
You close your eyes and follow his instructions. Ooh, this is so nice. Suddenly, you're standing in the middle of a vast field. The sun is bright and hot. The grass is green and lush. Dreamer, you put on some sunscreen, buddy? A cool breeze blows gently and you feel refreshed. Ahead of you, the land slopes downward and ends in a mountain range. Beyond those mountains, you can see the sea.
This was once our kingdom's capital. Literally, no buildings anywhere. We called it New Agland.
The field spreads out around you, birds flutter in the sky, and butterflies dance across the grass. There are trees scattered throughout the field, but you can't see any animals. Everything appears completely still, as though nothing is moving anywhere near you.
Our people loved this place. New Agland was the perfect place for us to build our empire. Our buildings were tall and strong, and our warriors were feared across the land. We built fortresses and palaces and temples for the gods. We worshipped the sun and the stars, and we prayed to the earth and the sea.
Suddenly, you notice movement at the edge of the field. You look over and see hundreds of people walking towards you. They appear to be marching in single file, and they're carrying swords and spears and banners with their colors stitched into the fabric. Each banner has a symbol embroidered upon it. You count almost 400 soldiers, and they march towards you with their weapons held high.
Dreamer, you count fast, little buddy. These are our people, our subjects who once followed my father. Now they come to pay their respects.
Each soldier stops in front of you, their eyes are blank and lifeless, but you sense that they are truly there. What do they want?
They have come to honor him. To lay flowers at his feet so that he may continue to watch over them.
One soldier steps forward and bows his head.
Oh, hey, you doing okay? I am Gibron.
Oh, another one.
I am Gallus. I am Jadis. I am Golemus.
Some of the soldiers move aside, revealing another row of men waiting to speak. The line keeps going and going as more and more soldiers file past. You count 5,000 soldiers, all of them staring straight ahead without motion. At last, you realize that the soldier is actually dead. All of them are wearing armor and carrying weapons, but they are all pale and withered with death.
These are the heroes of Agland. Their spirits linger here watching over us.
Next to you, the apparition inhales deeply and sighs. He wipes his eyes with his sleeve.
When my father died, no one could replace him. The people mourned for generations. Even when I tried to rule, they did not love me.
Is that why you came here? Were the people not happy with you?
Yes, I thought that I could hide away and pretend that I wasn't here. Then maybe they would forget about me. Maybe the pain would go away. It didn't, though.
It didn't work.
Lothian nods sadly.
No, it didn't work.
Whoa! More soldiers pass by, and then you're surrounded by thousands of men. Their footsteps echo off the stone floor as they shovel towards you. It kind of actually looks like a bunch of parakeets. Many of the soldiers are old and frail, but the majority are young and strong. They carry their weapons with pride. You feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of them. Soon, your vision is obscured by the press of bodies.
We love you, Lothian. You are our king.
Please forgive us. There's no other who could ever lead us.
Long live the king.
Long live the king.
The soldiers shout in unison, and you can't hear anything else through their voices.
Long live the king. Long live the king.
Long live the king. The echo of their voices reverberates inside your skull. You feel dizzy. The air feels heavy and thick. Your heart pounds in your chest.
Long live the king. Long live the king.
Your eyes open wide as you realize that something is wrong. The soldiers are shouting, but they aren't speaking. They're screaming silently. Behind you, Lothion sits quietly on the throne. He is motionless and unmoving, but his eyes are open and staring at nothing. Oh, what is going on here?
Help me, please help me.
His voice echoes inside your head. It doesn't sound human. It's screeching and desperate and filled with fear.
Please, help me, please.
Oh, what on earth is going on with this story? It was just like a beautiful green field. We see some soldiers marching, and they're all like, "Long live the king!" And then suddenly they're all like, "Help me!" And then now we're in like a sea of blood. The soldiers scream again and fall to his knees. Blood seeps from his mouth as he dies, and his body collapses on the ground. All right. What text did you give the AI to make them create this? More soldiers fall to their hands and knees. Others collapse and scream until they die. Okay. You stand up and run towards the dais, but more soldiers rush forward and shove you away. You stumble backward as they swarm around you. Okay, I have to admit, the red pinkish color is actually really pretty, but I don't like where we are right now. Your legs get tangled together and you slip on the stone floor, falling hard against the wall. Suddenly, your vision ends. You only see blackness. You wake up, gasping for breath. You lie in your bed, and the sunlight pouring through the window make you squint. As you struggle to move, you see a sheet of paper lying on the desk next to you. You reach over and pick it up. It bears the royal crest of Aglan, 3 rings arranged in a triangle. You turn the page over to read. You have been granted an audience with the king at noon today. You frown and you start to panic. You didn't mean to sleep this long. What if you miss your chance? You grab your robes and head to the door. You stop when a voice speaks behind you. There's a small creature there. You look at it. The little thing is about 2 inches tall and wears a white robe and carries a book. Its skin is covered with tiny bumps and warts, and its hair is short and bristly. Pox. I don't know if I like the name of that guy.
I am sorry, I did not mean to surprise you.
The creature looks up at you with big, dark eyes.
My name is Pox, and I'm here to help you.
Why?
This is too much for you. You don't know what to do.
You nod.
You must leave for the palace now. Don't worry, I will guide you.
Who are you?
I am a servant of the king.
What happened to the king?
He is very busy. That's why you need me.
How can I trust you?
I can show you. Follow me.
Oh, okay, I'll follow you down this dark highway. The little creature hops off the table and wanders out of the room. You hurry after it, and you find yourself in a tunnel lined with torches. Pox leads you to the end of the tunnel and stops.
Here says Pox. Do you see that opening?
You look around and see a crack in the wall. Beyond that, you see a large square room filled with bookshelves.
There. Now, look inside.
A moment later, the wall opens. You step in and look around. Bookshelf after bookshelf stretches out before you, each shelf packed with leather-bound volumes. Okay, we're in a cozy spot now. You walk through the rows, looking at the titles printed in gold letters on the spines of the books. You see works on history, science, magic, and religion. Some of the pages are blank, while others are filled with dense text.
Why did you bring me here? To learn. I have been searching for something for years.
What is it? Pox shakes his head.
It's a secret.
And you need me to help you search for it?
Yes. Please don't tell anyone.
No promises, you reply. You glance back at the tunnel entrance and you notice that it has been closed behind you. You walk into the library and begin browsing through the books. After a few hours of reading, you find that there's a lot of information available to you. There's a section of kings and queens of the realm and a chapter on geography. It mentions that Aglan is surrounded by mountains and forests. There are also sections of agriculture and fishing. As you continue reading, you realize that a lot of the knowledge in the book dates back hundreds of years. They mention battles that took place centuries ago, and they describe places far away. You realize that most of it has nothing to do with you. Suddenly, you spot a book on one of the lower shelves. The cover is yellowed and worn. The title reads, History of the Kingdom of Aglan, Volume 5, The First Age. You take it out and open it up. Whoa, this is really cool. It's like wooden texture, but also like it looks pencil sketched. In the earliest days, the land known as Aglan was inhabited by wild creatures, reads the first line. The beasts were dangerous and fierce, and they attacked any travelers who entered their territory. You flip to the next page, the ink on the page is faded, and the words seem to be written in a different language. The first heroes emerged from the wilderness. They were men of great strength and courage, the book continues. Their names are lost to time, but their deeds remain. They built mighty castles, protected the weak, and defeated the monsters. I think we got some code left here. These brave warriors discovered a magical stone that glowed red. It was the source of their power. They used the light of the stone to defeat the beasts, and they ruled the lands for many years. On the next page, there is an illustration depicting a castle with towers and battlements. Atop the highest tower is a bright red gemstone. Then one day, reads the caption beneath the drawing, the brightest star appeared in the sky. The shining orb cast shadows across the land, and it filled the sky with terror. You show Pox the drawing.
Is this the castle? Yes, this is the castle where the last hero lived. What happened after that?
One night, the lights went out, reads the book. The stones were silent, the people could not fight the beasts. Their cities fell into ruin, many were killed. Whoa, very cool artwork here. Then a warrior came. He wore armor made of steel and he carried a sword of platinum. His name was Kardarn, and he led an army of men into the wilderness. Wait, true, wait, input, false. Got some more code here. They found the stone and brought it back to Agland. With the power of the stone, Kardarn saved his people. The people cheered Kardarn as their leader. They gave him the title of king.
And that was the end of the first stage? No, that was the beginning.
You continue reading until you come to another illustration. This one showed Kardarn standing atop a high platform in front of the group of people. He is dressed in an elegant robe and holds a scepter in his hand. Kardarn continued rule the kingdom for many years. He traveled the lands and spoke to the people in order to unite them under the rule of one king. Wait, true, wait, input, false. He fought in many wars and he conquered his enemies. He ruled for 30 years before he died, reads the caption beneath the drawing. Whoa. At the age of 80 years, the king grew sick and died, reads the book. His son, Lothion, succeeded his father. Oh, there we go. We got Lothion back in the picture. Maybe not this picture. However, within 3 months of taking the throne, he was murdered by someone who claimed to be the rightful heir. Thus began the Second Age. This period is remembered as the darkest of times, reads the text below the picture. Countless wars erupted throughout the land. Men fought each other for power, and the kingdoms of Aglan were torn apart. The people suffered greatly under the rule of warlords and conquerors.
So this is the true story of this kingdom? Yes, it is all true. Lothian did not leave his people. He was murdered. Then who the heck was I talking to? Yes, that is the truth. We should tell the king about that he was murdered.
I don't know if that makes sense, but oh wait, hold on. The king's a ghost, so yeah, I guess we could tell him that.
No, if you tell him that,
oh, sorry,
he will not believe you.
Why not?
Because you are a stranger. Nobody ever comes to visit the castle. So you know that I was coming? Of course. Why did you bring me here then? Because I thought it was time for someone to come. Someone needed to see how bad things were.
Who are you?
I am a servant of the king. I am here to help you find out who really killed Lothian.
How? Pox points up to the ceiling.
Look up there.
Okay, that was just hanging up on the ceiling, alright. You peer above you and see a strange figure hanging from chains. It is a man with red hair and pale skin. On his chest are tattoos of the symbol of fire. Oh, I thought it was like his skin was like ripped apart or something.
He is the murderer. He was one of the warriors who founded this country. He was known as Redbeard, and he served the previous king for many years.
Why did he kill the king?
I don't know. Perhaps he wanted more power for himself.
You look at that tattoo on the man's chest. You lean closer and touch it.
It doesn't burn. Does that mean he's not the real murderer? I don't think so. That's only one part of the puzzle.
Is this supposed to burn, Dreamer?
How do we solve the rest of it?
Pox shrugs.
That's your job.
You turn back to the book. You see several illustrations that depict Redbeard and some other man sitting together on a bench outside a building. You look around and find that you are in the same chamber where you met Pox earlier. The tunnel to the castle is still open behind you. In the year 622, Redbeard joined forces with a powerful wizard, reads the book. Together, they planned to overthrow King Lothion. They gathered an army of wizards, soldiers, and mercenaries and marched on the castle. When Redbeard and his allies reached the castle, they opened the gates and attacked, reads the caption below the picture. The scene depicts Redbeard and his men charging the castle walls. They carry swords and shields, and they wear armor made of metal plates. They attack from the front and flank on the structure, surrounding the fortification with their numbers. Redbeard and his men were too numerous, continues the caption. They overwhelmed the defenders in the courtyard and stormed inside. The king attempted to flee, but he was captured. The next page shows King Lothion tied to a chair. He's surrounded by guards wearing black robes, or cult. One of them has a burning torch and is holding it over the king's head. The wizard who had accompanied Redbeard stepped forward and raised his hands toward the king, reads the caption. Fire burst from his fingertips and engulfed King Lothion. The flames burned away his flesh and hair.
What happened to Redbeard afterwards? It's in the book. Freaking read the book, Dreamer.
Jeez, Pox. After his victory, Redbeard became the most powerful man in the kingdom. He was given vast powers by the wizard who had aided him. Redbeard commanded the greatest army in the history of Aglin. He was crowned king and he ruled for 7 years.
7 years? That's not very long. Once again, his reign was short. He battled against a rebellion led by one of his generals, and he was overthrown soon after.
For 2 decades, Redbeard continued fighting the rebels who sought to overthrow him, reads the book, but he was no match for them, and he was defeated and slain at the bow of the Great Forest. The painting shows Redbeard lying on the ground, surrounded by dead bodies. A band of rebels in black armor stands over him with swords drawn. Blood drips down their faces and necks.
Did he die there?
Yes, he was executed for treason.
Sounds like he didn't have much luck. He never found what he was looking for.
Alright, bring in the U2 song.
What was he looking for?
Pox grunts and stares off into space. After a moment, he looks back at you and says,
A treasure.
What is that treasure everybody's looking for?
You'll discover that soon enough. Let's go back upstairs now. We have work to do. This is the place. You can feel it.
You walk into the room and you stop when you see the large wooden chest sitting against the far wall. There's a metal lock on its lid and it's covered in dust.
This is the chest that belonged to Lothion. It is said that it contains great wealth and magical artifacts.
Are you sure about that? I'm not feeling anything magical.
Don't worry. That's probably just the magic keeping the chest hidden. When the right person opens the chest, the magic will disappear.
Where's the key?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But we're going to get it soon.
You stare at the lock. You rub your eyes and shake your head.
Can you see? Do you know where it is?
Yes, I see the key. It's inside the castle somewhere. You turn around and see Lothion. He is seated on the bench in the corner of the room. His body is draped in heavy robes made of dark gray fabric. His face is bare of hair and beard, and his skin is covered in wrinkle. He holds a scabbard with a long sword. Lothion watches you. His eyes are hollow and empty.
Who are you?
I am Lothion, king of Aglin.
You are dead. Your body is rotting in a crypt somewhere.
Well, yes, but my spirit lives on. I've never been able to pass on because of the curse.
Curse?
Yes, a wizard cursed me when I died. He stole my soul and trapped it in my body.
What is the curse?
It makes my skin feel cold to the touch. Everything feels lifeless. I cannot die until someone releases my soul from my body.
How did he do that?
He bound my spirit to the piece of bone. It was a sword hilt, so I assume he meant to use it as an anchor point. Now, whenever my spirit tries to depart, it returns to the anchor point.
Is this why you've been guarding this castle?
Yes, since I died, no one else has occupied the castle. Everyone else abandoned it.
Why didn't you abandon it too?
Because of the curse.
Couldn't you break the curse?
I tried. I spent decades trying to free myself from the curse.
So what happened? Did the curse finally lift?
No, nothing worked.
You did not abandon your people. You were killed by the wizard.
Yes, I suppose that's true. I abandoned them shortly after I learned of the curse. I told them that I could not save them anymore and that they needed to take care of themselves.
No, you were fighting to the end. You were murdered by Redbeard.
Redbeard? I remember him. He was a vicious fighter. I thought we would kill each other.
You fought him to the death.
Yes, but he got the better of me.
Is that why you're still guarding this castle?
Yes, I am waiting for Redbeard to return. If he ever comes back, I swear I will fight him once again.
Redbeard is hanging in the cellar. You must have fought him already.
No, I have never seen Redbeard. The last time I saw him was when he killed me.
Then how do you know he's coming back?
He'll come back. He will pay for killing me.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since we actually got to choose something. Let's see, we can say, Lothion, why don't you remember fighting with Redbeard? Or Pox, are you hiding something? Because Lothion says he doesn't remember seeing Redbeard either. Let's ask this.
Pox, are you hiding something? Me? Why would I hide anything? Did you kill Redbeard? No, I never touched him. Never laid a finger on him.
So you're protecting him?
Absolutely not. I hate Redbeard. If I could kill him, I would. I would cut off his arms and legs and feed them to pigs.
Holy crap, hold on there, Pox. Yeah, calm down there, buddy. There's only one option here.
You are lying. You killed Redbeard and hid him away. No, I would never hurt Redbeard. How do you know Redbeard's coming back? I know because I can hear him whispering in my ear. I can see him in my dreams.
Oh no, Pox.
You glare at Pox.
I think I understand why you're doing this. You are trying to protect yourself. You don't want to let go of your life.
It's not like that. I just don't want to die.
Pox, if the curse is lifted, you will die? You are lying to Lothion in order to protect yourself. Let's ask this one.
Pox, if the curse is lifted, you will die? Yes, I will die, and I won't be able to move or speak. My body will rot away to nothing.
This is actually a really interesting story. I wonder what text was fed in to make the AI create this story like this. It's like kind of like deception and mystery and what the heck is going on. All right, let's see. Why did you show me the library? Do you regret what you did, and will you stop now? I guess we'll just say this, because if you didn't show us the library, we would not have seen Redbeard hanging on the ceiling.
Why did you show me the library? Because I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to see everything. Lothion, Redbeard is already dead. He was killed by Pox. Battle is over. You are free to go.
Free to go? What do you mean by that?
The curse is gone. We can leave now.
What are you talking about?
We are leaving this castle forever. Our quest is finished.
What? There is still a key to the chest.
That doesn't matter anymore. I think I need this key.
Lothion stands up and slowly walks towards you. He reaches out his hand.
Take my hand.
You take hold of his fingers.
Now put your other hand on mine.
I can imagine this being like really cute, because Dreamer's just like a little like creature animal. He just places his little hands. You place your left hand on top of his right hand.
Close your eyes.
You close your eyes.
Feel my spirit.
You feel something hard and cold against your palm.
Now open your eyes.
Your eyes open. Lothion is gone. There is a key in your hand. You go to the chest and open it with the key. You look inside and discover that there is only one item in the chest.
A book bound in black leather. The title of the book is written in gold letters across the cover. 7 Lives of King Lothion.
7 lives? What does that mean? There's the book right there. Oh, dang, that was a very, very, very interesting story. So I guess the dark chapter is that we go across this bridge into this creepy castle. We meet Lothion, who appeared at first as an old man and then turns into a handsome, like, alternate reality version of Cloud for Final Fantasy. And then he kind of tells, or I don't know what happened. He's just saying that he, this used to be his kingdom and now it's gone. We meet this little guy named Pox, and he's all like, well, actually the Lothian was killed by some guy, but he doesn't know that. But if he knows that, then like I'm gonna die. But I guess that didn't happen. So yeah, that was interesting. How that the story was just brought together, because it was like, it was integrated well, but there was still some, parts that didn't really make sense. But overall, it was good. It was an interesting story. I love the dark artwork in this chapter. It was interesting because sometimes there was really pretty views, like the green field, the castle, and then it just totally went dark, like the sea of blood that we saw with the soldiers. So yeah, very interesting chapter. And I guess our next chapter is the desert. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give. And yeah, I hope to see you all in my next video when we cover the desert. Until then, bye everyone.